Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a journey using this fantastic collection of sources we've gathered. We're focusing on Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. And, one thing that just jumps out right away.
What's that?
It's often called the rickshaw capital of the world.
Yeah.
Apparently, it has nearly 1 million cycle rickshaws. Can you even picture that?
Yeah, that's quite an image. A sea of rickshaws. It definitely sets the scene.
Exactly.
And our mission today really is to peel back the layers of this city for you. We'll look at its, deep history, its modern day buzz, the growth.
And the challenges too, right?
Absolutely. The challenges are a huge part of the story. Right. We want you to really get a feel for Dhaka's significance.
Okay, so to understand Dhaka now, we probably need to look back first. Our sources talk about a really long history.
Yeah.
How did it become so important, like back in the 17th century?
Well, yeah, you've hit on a key period. Under the Mughal Empire, Dhaka was actually the capital of Bengal Suba.
Okay, so a major administrative center.
Yeah, a huge one. And it gained this reputation, this name, the city of mosques and muslin.
Mosques and muslin, I like that.
Right. It speaks to the architecture, obviously, but also that incredibly famous, super fine muslin textile they produced. World-renowned stuff. And, this deep historical weight, it kind of echoes later on. It played such a central role during the Bangladesh Liberation War in 71.
Ah, right. So that history is deeply tied to its national identity today.
Precisely. It really cemented its place in the nation's heart.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's jump forward then. From that historical core to, modern Dhaka, what's it like now? The sources mentioned it being a major political, economic, cultural hub.
It absolutely is. I mean, it's the nerve center of the country today.
So government buildings, big companies.
Definitely. You've got the Parliament building, the Jatiya Sang Sad, that famous Louis Kahn design. Architecturally, it's stunning.
Heard of that one.
And economically, yeah, it drives things. Banks, telecoms, and of course, the huge garment industry, very important. Plus, major universities like the University of Dhaka.
So all the pillars of a modern capital.
Yes. But what's really striking, maybe the defining thing, is the sheer scale. We're talking over 20 million people in the greater metro area.
20 million.
Packed into a core city area of roughly 306 square kilometers. The density is just incredible. And the main language, of course, is Bengali, or Bangla.
That scale is hard to wrap your head around. But, okay, beyond the big picture stats and history, what gives Dhaka its specific character, its unique flavor?
Good question. It's definitely got personality.
Like specific places, things you'd see or taste. Our sources mention a few landmarks.
Yeah, there are some amazing historical sites still very present. You've got the Lalbagh Fort from the Mughal era, 17th century, really impressive.
Okay.
And the Star Mosque, Tar Masjid, it's famous for its intricate mosaic decorations, very unique.
Yeah.
And Asan Manzil, the Pink Palace.
A pink palace. Sounds grand.
It was a former Nawab's residence. But there's modern stuff too, like huge shopping malls. Bashundhara City is one, and places like Hatir Chil, this big lake area for recreation.
All right, so a mix of old and new. What about food and culture? You always hear about the food scene.
Oh, definitely. Dhaka is famous for its biryani. Haji biryani is legendary. Lots of amazing street food, too. And sweets, like Roshogolla.
Okay, making me hungry now.
Yeah. And the culture is vibrant. Think big festivals, especially Pahila Baishak, the Bengali New Year. So much color and energy.
It sounds incredibly lively.
It is. But that vibrancy raises a key question, doesn't it? How does all this life, this rich culture, manage to thrive alongside some really significant challenges?
Yeah, let's talk about those challenges. The sources we looked at were pretty clear on some major ones. Traffic, obviously.
Oh, the traffic is legendary in its own right, often cited as some of the worst globally.
And overpopulation, pollution, issues with urban planning.
Exactly. And look, these aren't problems unique to Dhaka, right? Many megacities face similar things. Yep. But the scale and the sheer speed of Dhaka's growth just make these issues incredibly intense. The traffic, for instance, it's not just cars, it's buses, CNGs, and those nearly 1 million rickshaws all crammed together.
Right, on roads maybe not built for that volume.
Precisely. And the population density puts enormous strain on everything. Housing, water, sanitation, urban planning struggles to keep up with growth. It's often informal and incredibly rapid.
It sounds like a constant struggle. Yet the city functions. People live their lives.
That's the thing. There's an incredible resilience there. People navigate these realities daily.
So putting it all together, the history, the massive growth, the culture, the challenges, what's the main takeaway for understanding Dhaka?
Well, I think it leads us to a really interesting point to consider. Dhaka has this powerful dual identity, doesn't it?
How so?
It's this deeply historical place, the city of mosques and muslin, tied to centuries of culture and the nation's birth. But it's also this explosively growing modern megacity.
Right. History and hypermodernity colliding.
Exactly. So the thought to leave you with is this. How does a city like Dhaka balance that? How does it preserve its incredibly rich past while dealing with the intense pressures and demands of its future? It's constantly navigating that tension.
Balancing the past and the future on such a massive scale. That's definitely something to think about.